Hey guys, do you want to know how to make a tycoon system like this in UEFN? Well, I can show you today. Alright, before I begin with the video, I want to talk about Gem Tycoon X. You can play it right now, and it's a lot of fun. You can buy guns, play with others, you can unlock more stuff, and be the richest you can. And of course, if you want to buy this whole game, it's available on the shop. Alright, now let's begin with the video. And this one is a special one because we're completing the entire Tycoon series. And let's get started with the video. So first, okay, since we're starting from the beginning, we're just gonna make a green floor. So we're gonna go to shapes here, get a cube, put this down, shrink it, and just extend it however you want, depending on how you want your Tycoon to be. So I'm gonna do like this big, okay, and that's kind of it. Alright, for now. So all we can do is just go down here and we can just search up green, and we can do green color. Okay, we could get our green color over here. So like this one, that one's not bad. There's also another green, like this one. This one's also pretty good. I'm gonna use this one. And yeah, so there we go. So we got that done. Okay, now we're just gonna make a road, and for the road, we're just gonna put a shape. Cube, we're just gonna bring it down here, and we're just gonna scale it to how big we want our road to be. So it's gonna be the same like this, and we're just gonna smack it right in the center, right there. Okay, and we're gonna make this a gray color. So let's do like since it's a road, we're gonna do a really like a nice dark gray, like that. All right, now we can duplicate this, shrink it down like this, and then make it a bit taller, actually a little bit more stretched out like that. And we're gonna put it on the side over here, and we're gonna make this a lighter gray like this one. Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted, so let's do a lighter one like this one. That one's not bad, but let's just do this one for now. So we'll do this one, duplicate it, put it on this side as well. And boom, now we got our road. Okay, of course this is, you don't have to do all this, just making a simple map. So now I'm just gonna make a separating piece between all of these tycoons. So I'm gonna just do something like this, make it a little taller like that, a little thicker like this, and I'm gonna put that like right here. Okay, so let's say this is our first tycoon. Alright, and this map will be published by the end of this with some, of course, extra enhancements to make it more attractive to everyone. And there we kind of go. We kind of got like what we wanted. Of course, make this a little better, like duplicating this on this side, doing these, boom, duplicating it, putting it over here, and just like that, right? And then as well, how about we select everything here, okay? And we're gonna right click over here, and we're just gonna go to, well, okay, we're gonna go to move to, and we're gonna put create new folder. Okay, in this folder we're just gonna call map. Okay, and boom, just like that, we got that done. So we could just save this. All right, and we kind of done all that. Right, and now we're just gonna make this a little bit more organized. We're just gonna make some folders. We're gonna call one materials, we're gonna call another one props. Okay, and just like that. So what we're gonna first do, alright, with our Tycoon is just import all the assets. We're also gonna have to do something else, and what that's gonna be is like making walls. Okay, and the way I would do that is just do something like this, okay, or not in this mode. We actually want to go into modeling mode. Okay, and we could just select our box, boom, put it right there, and then we can just increase the width so as much as you like, so 1500, boom, like that. Okay, and then that's really all we got to do, but we could also change the material. So I'm gonna do like a white, see, a white like that, right? So that's all we got to do for this one. So we could accept this, right? And once you're good with that, we just made one piece, and all we got to do is just duplicate this, put it on the other side over here, duplicate this again, rotate it this way, boom, and then we could just move it right over here, make it aligned a little bit better. So we could do something like that. Yeah, that's better. And then for the front, we're just going to do something like this. Okay, I'm just not going to do it exactly perfect, and I will perfect it later, but right now I'm just making a rough tutorial to show you guys how to do this. So I'm going to duplicate this, now I'll put it on the other side, and boom, just like that, we got our first wall done. Okay, so now we select all of these. Okay, and we're just going to go to scripted actor actions, and we're just gonna put whatever you want. I'm gonna just do wood, doesn't really matter. But you're gonna see we got some issue. That's not actually what we wanted to do, right? We wanted to group these all together. So we can go up to modeling mode, select all these, and then go into mesh, and then we can click union. Okay, and we could just accept it, and boom, now it combined everything into one piece. Okay, and then we could just right click this, scripted actor actions, and then just select like wood or something, and boom, just like that, we got it merged, right? And I'm just gonna rename this to make this organized. I'm gonna call this base I mean, actually, we're gonna write claim. Let's do Tycoon 1, and we're gonna write base 1. Okay, and then we can right click it, move to create a new folder, and this folder is gonna be called Tycoon 1. All right, and boom, we got our base 1 done. And now let's just make our button real quick. So we're just gonna go into modeling mode, and I'm gonna just bring out a cylinder, and we're just gonna reduce the height of it, like kind of like that, but even less than that, because that's like 10. So how about we do instead 5, right? And we could just increase its radial slices if you want. That's your choice. I'm gonna do like 20. All right, and I'm just gonna make the radius a bit bigger, kind of like that, maybe a bit smaller, and just like that. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, we got that done. And I'm gonna just go to material, and we're gonna do, for this bottom material, we're gonna do yellow. We're gonna do flat yellow like that. Okay, and then we can duplicate this, go here, shrink it down a little bit, bring it up, and we're gonna go here and we're gonna write red, and we're just gonna find the red color we want. So right here, we got red flat, and boom, like that. I'm gonna make it a little taller than that though, and kind of like that, right? And then you could just select both of them, do the same thing, go to mesh, union, and then accept. Okay, and then we could just shrink this down however we want. This is just our button, of course, and we're gonna right click over here, and we're gonna convert it into a prop again. It's gonna say, oh, prop underscore merge already exists. So the reason why is because we need to rename this, and we gotta do button. Okay, we right click this button, scripted after actions, and we're just gonna turn it into a prop. All right, so we got prop underscore button now, and boom, we got our button. And I'm gonna rename this to claim button. Okay, and we can just move this out here, right? And yeah, one problem we might find, okay, this happens, is let's say we bring out our spawner device or something. We have our spawners over there, okay, and we can see how, if I bring this out here, we see this is how the character would look, right? So this is how tall the player is actually. So we see how the button is pretty small, but it's actually pretty good size actually. What is a bit large are these walls. Okay, and the only thing we could do is just shrink their height a little bit and just bring it down like that. Okay, and the button can just stay as how it was, right? All right, there we go. So we have our button here, our claim button, and we're gonna pop that into our Tycoon folder. All right, and now we're just gonna set up our button entirely. We just made our button, but now we want to set it up. So we're gonna get our volume device, okay, and is it this? Yes, it's this one. Okay, and we're gonna choose for the volume shape a cylinder. Okay, and then we can of course make the radius less, and we're gonna do like 0.1, right, or even higher or less than that. So we're gonna do 0.2. 0.2 seems actually a perfect size for this button. As we see, fits in right there. We're gonna have to bring it down though, of course, but it works pretty well. It covers that whole button part. And then for our height, you change this however you want. I'm gonna change this to like 0.5, maybe even less. 0.1. Yeah, 0.1 is good. And like that, boom, we got our volume device right there. And we're just gonna pop that into our claim button. All right, and we're gonna rename it just to be organized. We're gonna rename this to claim volume. All right, and we just gonna check here. Player events are enabled. That's good. So our settings are all good. We don't really need to change anything. You could change these ones if you want, but for my Tycoon, really, you're not gonna have guards, I believe. So that's totally fine. All right. Also, I just realized our button is floating, so let's just bring that down. Okay, and boom, we have our button right there. Alright, so we got our button here, we got the volume, claim volume. Next thing we would want to do is just build out your Tycoon. Okay, import all the assets and build it out. So I'm gonna do that, and as well I'm gonna make everything just look better. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, alright, so I have built out my entire Tycoon thing, and we see here we have like a box, we have all this stuff, but you'll notice something. These are all mesh, okay, and we kind of need to fix that since we don't want, right, we want everything to be a prop. So I'm gonna do that with you. So let's see, this table, we could do this. So I'm gonna take this, and you know what I'm gonna do? Actually, I'm gonna leave that. But what I'm gonna do, okay, this is a very simple process. All we gotta do, just right click this, and we're gonna do scripted action, actor action, and you already know we could do this, just transform it, right? And then I don't even care about the name, but we have our prop now. Right, so we just have to do that for many of these things. Okay, so let's say this floor, right? So let's make this floor, these two together. So let's just go into modeling, select both of them, go to model or mesh and then union them, accept that, we're just gonna union them real quick, and then we could right click this, let's just rename it, let's call this base floor, okay, and then I'm gonna right click this, convert it into a prop, doesn't matter which one you choose, because we're not gonna be enabling, damage. And then I'm gonna do my walls here, start my walls, so wall doorway all the way to this, all my walls, I believe, yep. We can go to modeling mode and do the same thing, mesh, union, accept, so we just union all of them, and as you see, it doesn't cause any issues with the textures or anything, it just does it how you want it to. So we got that done, right? So now they all move together. So we could right click the scripted actor actions, do the same thing, but it's gonna say this because we need to rename it. So right click, rename, and I'm gonna call this wall 1. Right click, scripted actor actions, and I'm gonna make it a stone. Okay, so now we got that one. Okay, very easy, simple process. So you just do this with each one. So we're gonna do this one, convert this into wood. Sure. Okay, so we have that. We could do this one as well. We'll call this, I'm gonna call this I don't need to call it, but there we go. So now everything is a prop, as we see. Everything is a perfect. Okay, so after that, I'm just gonna take all my prop. Okay, I'm gonna take all my prop and we're gonna move that into Tycoon 1 because we want to be organized. So we take our base floor, put it there, put this in there. What else? Yeah, we'll put our tables in this. Table medium decorated, sure, put that in there. Wall 1, yeah, we want that here. And oh, I forgot about our roof, but I guess we could just do that as well. So stone and boom. So as well, all these assets, the whole map actually will be available to buy on our website, okay? And all the code later on for this video will be in the description of the video where there's a link to our website where the code for the Tycoon will be, okay? And there we go. So we got all this done, okay? And we have all this, we have our button, right? However, there is something that might be a little annoying, which is why is our button doesn't have any text, right? We don't have any text on the button. So what we're gonna do is we are going to go to the GoCraft website and go to glowcraft.site/Tycoon text generator. The link for this will be in the description as always, and this is a place where you could just easily make your Tycoon button text. Okay, so I'm gonna write claim for mine, okay, and I'm gonna just increase my letter spacing. I'm gonna make the font size a little bigger. I'm gonna make it like max. All right, I'm gonna make the outline a little thicker, space it out a bit more, make the outline black or a little bit of darker color here. Make the text color, I'm gonna make the text color a bit more on the light side like that, so we could also spread it out, boom, like this. Okay, so then we could generate the image, right, and we could just open it up, and as we see, it did actually pretty well, okay, and it's 1,000 by 1,000, okay, just so you know. So then we could go into UEFN and we're just gonna make a new folder and we're gonna call this button text. All right, now we could go open it up, and since we have our text here, which I'm gonna actually rename right here, it's a claim button UI text. We're just gonna drag that into here, and boom, we have that right there. So we could just save that, and we have it there. All right, so once we have it right there, right, we need to make the material for it. So we're gonna make a material and we're gonna call it duplicatable, or let's say clonable, because I can't type that out. Clonable map. All right, I'm gonna save this here and we're gonna right click, we're gonna do texture sample, and we're gonna get RGB. And we're gonna put that into the emissive color. All right, it's gonna give us error, but that's fine, because all we gotta do is go down here to the blend mode and do masked and then unlit. Okay, and then we're gonna drag A to opacity map. So next thing we want to do is we're gonna get something called material function call. Okay, and then we're gonna set this to sprite, and then what we can do is right click here. We're gonna get the scalar parameter. Okay, and we're gonna attach it to the XY scale. Okay, and then we're just gonna change this however you want. I'm gonna make this 500. Doesn't really matter, and we're gonna go to world position offset and put that into world position offset over here. All right, now we're done with this, but we do get some errors. So the reason why is because we have to right click this and convert it to a parameter. Okay, and we're gonna call this image param. All right, and we have to go down here and just select a temporary image that does not map. Okay, so now we can apply this and just save it. Okay, so save that. All right, so we're gonna leave the material. After we're gonna leave our material, we're gonna right click the material and click create material instance, and then we're gonna name it claim button material text. All right, we can just save this, and then inside of here we're gonna go to global scalar parameter values and global texture parameter, and then we could just change the material to the text we want. So I'm gonna do claim, and then we're gonna set it to 500 for now. I don't know how big it is, so we'll see how big it is. So now once we've done that, we could just go up here and create a plane, okay, and then we could put this text on the plane. All right, and as we see, it's really big, so we're gonna go back into the instance, and we're just gonna reduce it to like 100, and then we're gonna save it, and that's much better. Okay, so now we got our claim, right? It does seem a bit small, so I'm gonna change it again. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna change it to 200, save that. All right, and yep. So we can now drag this point into the claim button. All right, so they move together. And then as well, in the plane, we could go to static mesh component, and we could go to collision presets and just go up here and turn it on. So we're just gonna save that again, and boom, we got this thing now. It follows us, and it's much easier to set up than the VFX that we did before. All right, so since we've done that, right, now it's pretty much time to go into our code. All right, so we're gonna go to Verse Explorer, and we're gonna right click, and we're just gonna make something called game_manager, and we're gonna create that, and we're just gonna go into it. Once we're in game manager, all right, we're gonna copy the code from the website. All right, and that will be in the description, and I'll label it as code. All right, where you can find the code on the website. So we're gonna just paste it in. All right, and we're gonna get some errors, but that's totally fine because there's a reason for that. And that is because we need to go up here to our main folder, and we're gonna click new file, and we're gonna add something called UI_manager, and and then we're gonna also copy that from the website and paste it. All right, and we are gonna get an error. All right, and we're gonna solve that soon. Next, what we're gonna want to do is go into UEFN, and we're gonna right click, add new verse file to project, and we're gonna call this new device Tycoon_manager1. Okay, and we can just create that, and then we can go into our Tycoon manager, and we're gonna copy and paste code directly from the website. Okay, and make sure to go to where it says your device name, and then is equal to class creative device, and we're gonna change this name right here to the name that you name your file. So we're gonna do Tycoon_manager1. All right, and same for up here, we're gonna do Tycoon_manager1, and there we go. Boom. As you see, it's a lot of code. Okay, and I'm gonna explain it all right now. So first we're gonna go into gaming. So this is where we're storing our values right now. So we have our persistable values if you enable that setting right here, Tycoon save, and as well we have our player map, and that has player Tycoon class, which is in our UI manager. Okay, this is for the UI that we're display for the cache, and it has other values, especially this one right here, and that checks if you're already an owner of a Tycoon. So you can't just claim someone else's Tycoon or claim a Tycoon that hasn't been claimed but you already own one, right? So yeah, and then we have Tycoon saves, which I already explained, that tells this script, oh, if you want to save stuff or not. And then we have our added events, and we have our for loop to make sure they get this on spawn function, and in here we're just setting the data, making sure each player gets their data. All right, and then we make their player class for the player Tycoon class, and we start up the UI, which is right here. That's why there's in it. All right, down here it just checks if your Tycoon save is false, and if it is, then it's just gonna revert the data back to nothing. All right, and down here we have our get manager, which our get manager, what it does is it gets this device, and then it can use that to get values or set value. Okay, and that's what I do most of the time here. Okay, so we could get the current cache, we could get the player Tycoon class. All right, and then we can add to the cache, remove from the cache, add to the Tycoon array, which is their saved items. Okay, and we've done here, we can get that Tycoon array, and then we have our on player removed, and that's pretty obvious what that does. Okay, so now we're gonna go into Tycoon 1 manager. Okay, and we're gonna ignore this for now. This is just to those subscribe functions that we use for events. Well, you can't exactly pass through parameters in there, so there's a way to do that, but it's kind of a workaround. So that's what this does. All right, and I got this from the Epic Games support website. All right, and up here we have our dropper prop class, which is a class that's optional. Okay, pretty optional, and this is only for if you want a dropper. All right, and then down here we have our all buttons, which is this is where you're gonna be able to easily with the UI inverse or the UI in UEFN, you can add more buttons, more everything. You can add unlockables, what you want to unlock, what props you want to unlock, and the dropper you want to unlock, basically. Okay, and we can check if it's purchased. All right, and we have the owner, the tycoon. We get all of our things here that we need separated from this up here, which is in an array. Okay, and we have how much the crate gives you money. Okay, and we have all bought items. Okay, and that's where it saves that and then sets that later to what is in the game manager. Okay, and then we have our crate animation debounce, which is just for the crate. When you hit it, you know you get money. And there's an animation now that I added into it, okay? And then this is a for loop, hiding all the props, hiding all the buttons, and making it now visible at the start. And then this is where they try to buy the button, and it checks if the name of the button is equal to the name of the button throughout all the arrays. So we're trying to find the correct button, okay, to use for this. All right, and then once we do that, we have all this, which mainly what it does is it checks if you have enough money to purchase something. It lets you purchase it, you know, you can. And then this is where as well we unlock props and all that, where they rise up. And yeah, so this down here is just moving the props up. This is the crate move to, which just moves the crate up. And then down here we have the dropper system, which drops out the item and then moves across the conveyor belt or wherever you want to actually point it. And then we have the subscribe function, which loops for all the drop. All right, and it makes it really easy to not have to one by one do some stuff. And down here, spawn and grant money. All right, this is mainly for the dropper, again, to grant you money and do whatever you want after it ends or reaches the end of the conveyor. And this is just for the crate. All right, when you hit the crate, and then it animates a crate down here, and then this is where you can claim the plot, which there's a value. Okay, this is, we already talked about this, is already owner. There's that value. And then as well, there's also owner a tycoon, which is the owner of the tycoon. All right, and it's an optional. So if you ever want to use that, remember it's an optional. And this down here brings back all the saved items. Okay, so it basically, what it does is we basically, okay, we get all the items that the players already bought with that saved array in game manager, okay, and we get all the props, everything they saved, and we just bring it back up. Okay, and this is player left functionality. We're in tycoon reset. Okay, we have this where it just resets the whole tycoon so someone else can later, you know, claim it again. Okay, and lastly we have UI manager, which is pretty simple. It has our UI here, and we abbreviate the number. We can do thousands, millions, billions, and we make our canvas for it. All right, it's pretty simple stuff here on this file. Okay, so we have UI images. There's an error, okay? You're probably wondering, what is this error? And it's because we have a image for this UI, okay? And to get this UI, and all the assets that I've used and everything straight to go, make a map, that will be all available in the shop. Okay, otherwise you're just gonna have to make this currency UI, which I've actually made one in the past in an older Tycoon video, so you can watch that if you want to learn how to do this. But basically, I'm gonna just right click here and make something called UI verse UI images, and I'm gonna just import my currency image, and boom, just like that, I got it in. And now in verse, all we gotta do to fix this is just put here instead verse UI images, and boom, it gets rid of that error, and we can build the code again, and everything's all right. So we've done that, right? So now all we have to do is just go into the Gem Tycoon, get out our Tycoon manager, get out our game manager, and first thing first is we're gonna go to the game manager, add a tag, okay, and we're gonna go here, edit, and we're gonna put the game manager tag on. And for this, we have all this stuff here. So we have our claim plot volume, which is this right here. So claim plot volume, our claim plot button, I'm gonna select that, and then this is for if you want your crate, and for right now, I don't exactly have a crate, but you can put that if you want, okay? And then we also have our crate prop Manny, that's for the prop manipulator on the crate. And then we have our button struct, which is nothing right? You're wondering what this is. Well, this is the special sauce, okay? This is a special sauce right here. So we can press plus and open this up, and boom, You got all these options. So we're gonna name this button claim, and we have a button prop we need to attach. So we can put the claim button, and then button volume, we can select our button volume. Okay, button price is 0 because this is not a purchasable thing. This is just claiming the Tycoon, right? So then we could go to buttons to unlock, which we don't have any buttons we're gonna unlock right now, but we will soon, right? And then we have props to unlock, and the prop we're gonna unlock is our floor. So we could put our floor here, okay? And boom, we have our floor. So we don't want the dropper right now, so we're good on that, right? And that's basically all you gotta do. Easy mode to make a Tycoon. So we could just, let's say, duplicate this button with everything in it. Of course, we're gonna duplicate this, move it, okay? And then we can move this right here. And then we could say we want to, let's say, let's rename this to buying the walls. So we could say buy walls, all right? Or whatever you want. So I want, for this one, let's do buy crate, right? So we could buy a crate. We could go here, this volume. We're gonna put crate volume, or if I could even write, like, what is that? Crate volume, all right? And it's over there for some reason. Verse has this weird glitch. But we can move this now, all right, over here, and boom, okay. Also, our guy is a little underground right now. We're gonna make that a bit more up, and boom, we have that. Okay, so we can buy a crate. So how about we make this the crate, okay? Let's put this crate like over here. Let's put it up here, right? Yeah, this is gonna be our crate, or depends on what you want, but this is gonna be our crate. Let's say this is a crate, all right, and let's make the crate, or let's say this table, let's make this table, okay, inside the box, okay, and then we're gonna name this box the crate, all right, and then we can get out a prop manipulator, and we could just put it on this crate, okay, we could just, or box, right, we could just put it on this guy right here, okay, and then we're gonna move this prop manipulator straight inside of our crate, okay, and now we have our crate in there, we have that in there, right, just like that, very easy. And then you could set that up how you want it, right? So there you go. And then we could add another button now, since we got that, right? So we could go to button struct here, add another element, right? And then we could add this, we could call instead crate button, right? And we could select this as the prop, we could select this as the volume, the price is going to be 0 because this is a crate, right? And then we could say buttons to unlock. It won't unlock any right now, but we will make it unlock something. And then we have props to unlock, which the prop will be the crate, and boom, just like that, we got the next one. And then we also have to select our crate model, select the crate prop manipulator, and then we could crate add money amount. We're gonna only make that like 5 right now, and boom, just like that, right? Just like that, we got another thing right there, and you could just build out a full Tycoon. All right, so how about I'm gonna add a bunch more buttons and stuff, and then we can move on to how a dropper works. All right, so let's say I've just added a little bit more, just that one over there, but let's say we did this, right? And you're probably gonna try to test it's not gonna work, okay? Reason why is because look, we need to go into here, into the claim button, and tell right here we want it to unlock buttons when we do this one. So let's say we buttons to unlock, we want to add another one and choose this one. So it tells basically the script, hey, we want to add this other button, and then we could also click another one if we want to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm instead going to go to the next button, the my crate button, and I'm going to add a button. That's going to be this button over here, okay? And boom, just like that, we got that all set up. All right, so now for the next thing, right? The droppers, okay? For the droppers, how they work, okay? And I'm gonna give an example here. All right, so let's say I have a cube here. Of course, we're gonna need to make everything a prop. Okay, so let's say we have a conveyor here. I know it's pretty small, right? But this is just for showcase purpose. So let's say we have this conveyor. Okay, and then how my system works is we have a prop over here, of course, and then inside this prop we would have something called a dropper part, okay, and that's the stuff that comes out of the dropper, you know, when it falls down and stuff. And basically how it works is that you need to put the start position till you would get this location, okay, and then basically you could get the position down here where it ends, right, and then you just get that position, okay, and that's all you got to do, really, that's it, and then it'll teleport back here, go down, go over there, teleport back here, go down, go over there. So that's basically it. That's pretty simple. That's how that would work. That's how the dropper works. Okay, so how about we just see if this works, right? Let's just test this out and see if I can buy my crate. I could buy this, I could buy this, or whatever, right? So let's just test it out and see if this works. Alright guys, so I'm in, right? And if I click claim, I'm able to get the floor, right? And then I can buy a crate, and boom, I can buy a crate, boom, boom. Okay, the only reason why it does it to the table is because the way I set it up, since the prompts are separated, but are together actually. But there you go. So I can do this, I can buy this and stuff, and it works pretty well. And yeah, one thing is, if you're wondering about the dropper thing, what you can do, okay, to check it out, is actually literally in here, dropper optional. You can see everything you want to add, and it's actually really simple. So dropper, same as prop, basically means if you put the dropper over here in props to unlock, okay? Most of the time I would recommend not to do that, but you can do that, okay? And then, as I told you before, start point, that's where the drop part starts. End point is where it goes when the animation like goes on the conveyor or something. And then we have the dropper drop part, we have the dropper prop, which you set the value for. So the dropper prop is basically, you know how let's say we have like a big item here, right? And that thing is dropping out the part. So the things that are dropping out of the main part is the dropper drop part, and then the dropper prop is that big thing that is like a machine dropping it out, you know what I mean? So that's basically it, and you can edit all the stuff however you want, and that's basically the whole Tycoon series. I mean, that's really it. It's really simple. If you want, we can add a little bit more to this, make a little bit more videos. We can show you how to make a daily system and a bit other stuff, right? But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bluecraft is about inspiration and learning. Bye!